Today's episode is brought to you by DNA Sports Training. If you or someone you know wants to take their game to the next level, then hit up DNA Sports Training. Visit DNASportsDenver.com to book a training session. We offer specialized training from football to track and field and everything else in between. Whether you're an offensive or defensive lineman wanting to get better off the ball, or you're an athlete wanting to improve your speed and agility, we have something for you over at DNA. Visit DNASportsDenver.com right now and sign up. What up, what up, what up?
What up, man?
It's another one, man. We're back again.
Hey, dude, every time this beat comes on, I just want to turn into Beezy again.
Then go, bro. Just
Busted.
go. Just feel what you feel. Get down where you feel good at, bro.
We got a special guest, and if that special guest was, I probably could have got him freestyling last night. We were chilling,
Yeah.
but you know, sometimes I forget about that and forget
I
to take
think I was
advantage.
dancing to some cumbia last night too, man.
I saw the video.
Oh,
I saw the video.
Oh.
I ain't gonna lie. Another family member of ours might have put that up on the chatter of snaps.
Oh.
So,
app
fortunately,
I don't frequent.
wow. Unfortunately
That's
for
why they
you,
put
it's
it up.
gone.
Oh, good.
Probably here in the next hour or two.
Unless someone screenshotted it.
Hey, man, I'm never gonna be president, so there's a lot of videos out
Come
there.
on, man. I vote for you. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in again. As always, shout out to folks if they're on the live stream. And Dom, make sure you get on your phone right now and let people know we're on the live stream. But if you're on the live stream, shout out to you, man. Make sure you hit that comment and interact with us on the live stream. We're working through it. We got a lot of big things coming up, cuz. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we trying to try new things. But yo, I've got my cousin in here, Lorenzo Coons Jr., LK.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Thanks for having me. It's much appreciated.
Hey, we'll get into what you do here in a second, but I just appreciate you stopping by, man. He's all the way down here from Toronto, Canada. He's our Canadian listener.
The one and only Canadian.
I mean, I get
You got a couple out there?
we got a blip over in Alberta too, so
All right.
it's working out pretty cool, man. It's
Trying to get the word out, man.
hey, I appreciate it, bro, and I appreciate all the love that you show us, and that, you know, you always hit me up and tell me little things that I could tell that you listened, and you know, ultimately that's we know our people will support us, but it's also very cool when our people support us because you know, that's kind of who your base is. I remember when I used to rock shows, man, it was you, it was Tosh, it was, you know,
Yeah, man.
some of the other close friends, family, relatives that they just showed up, man, and so it always made me feel good going on stage knowing my people were there. So appreciate you for taking a moment, man. You'll get down with us, and we'll talk
Definitely.
about what you do in iLaser Academy, but we'll also get down on you and Dom and the Raiders because I know you guys are
Yay.
Let's go.
big fanboys.
It's only one
Championship
nation,
bound.
baby.
Oh my god,
Let's do it.
I'm already getting
Let's
sick.
just talk about it now.
Yeah.
My
Why
stomach's so
wait
sick.
till the end?
You ever see that dude on like Facebook, Instagram? He's a black dude looking through the blinds and watching these people cook ridiculously nasty shit, and he's like, "Oh, my stomach's bubbling." That's what it's like when I hear you guys talk about the goddamn Raiders.
It's all good, man.
No, I'm just playing. I don't mind them. I like to go to
They make
Vegas.
you enough money.
They do make me enough money, and if you know, you know. So go back and tune in. Nah, man, me and Cuz got a bet go on that we have usually annually when the Raiders and Dolphins play each other. And I'm sure we'll fire it up this season because they're going to be playing in Miami. And but you know, I'm trying to meet down there.
I ain't betting you when they travel. They do not travel well.
Not
They do not
so
go to
much.
Especially to
Miami.
the East Coast.
The furthest spot. No.
What time is the game?
Oh, it's probably 11 o'clock game.
Oh,
Those are
come-
killer for
yeah.
us.
Here's the thing. The last time we went to Vegas, we watched Derek Carr. We watched Raider, and the Dolphins came back and won that game. Actually, no, I'm lying.
No,
Fuck.
Raiders won that game.
The Raiders
I was
won
in Vegas. and I
Raiders
was
won the
calling it.
last one, okay, because I had to buy two of the kids I used to coach. I had to buy them tacos. But there's one before that. But whatever, dude. I don't care.
Yeah.
Dolphins are going to win this year anyway.
I only care if they beat two people: the Dolphins and the Broncos. Other than that, it's a good year.
I mean, really, it's just the Broncos. I think you can live without them beating the Dolphins.
Nah, it's starting to hurt a little bit. So
I mean, I won't let you stop thinking about it, or I'll keep up on it. But no, man, it's crazy how fast this year's going, dude. We're freaking end of May, Memorial Day next week. We got Cero Miedo. over at Icon Sales and Boxing. That's going to be a fun event. I wish you were in town for that because
I know.
I think you would enjoy that one.
I know, man.
Dude, we were over there, what was it, Thursday? Friday?
Yep.
And watching these kids work, dude. And Jesus.
Putting in work.
Some of these kids, dude, their hand speed, their footwork, like, yo, some of them bigger dudes, I was like, I can make you a great offensive lineman, dude. Like,
And then they're not camera shy either.
nah, they like that.
Yeah.
That's wild. So I'm interested to see what they do at this event. What's new, Don? What's going on with you, bro?
Nah, man, just, sports. DJ started rugby.
Oh,
First game was out in the Springs, and we had to drive out into the smoke abyss. Shout out to everybody from Canada. Hopefully everybody's doing good.
Wasn't me.
wasn't me.
It sucks just to, when wildfires are that bad, you really just got to pray for everybody, and hopefully it gets resolved soon. But, man, rugby was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I knew what to expect until they started playing.
Okay.
And then it was melee. Mateo is a monster. Like,
Yeah.
every kid moving, he was hitting. Like, this kid has no regard for his body. And it's scary because he's only 8 years old, bro, but he is a monster.
He was great for us in football, man. So I can imagine, dude. Like them rugby kids, they're another. Like the people that play rugby, there's another level, dude. Like, you learn how to tackle properly.
Yep, and then shout out to DJ, got his first try. You know what I mean? Actually, he got two of them. They didn't count one, but he was running the ball all over him, and he don't get to do that in football because he's a patch player in football. But
For us American football watchers, a try is a touchdown.
yep,
I was wondering.
yeah,
I know in
what
my
did he
head,
try
but I
to do,
didn't know.
dog? What did he try to do?
yeah,
I thought he made like 3 in a row or something like that, like a hat trick.
yeah. No, I don't know the rules at all, and I'm over there yelling at the ref like I know what I'm talking about. Like, bro, you ain't calling it fair. I was like, dude, you don't know how you're talking about. Sit down.
Was there some scrums?
Scrum, is that where they put?
Yeah, that's a term.
No, they didn't do that, bro.
No,
For some reason.
I wonder if that age group. I wonder if it's certain because that shit gets that gets pretty rugged.
We've
bro.
been practicing it,
Yeah.
but they didn't do it.
Have you guys went and watched? Was it Glendale Raptors?
No.
That's up there. Up there in Glendale, they're a rugby team. They got like rugby 9s and rugby 7s, but they're really good, and they play all over the place, dude. But they always have games up there. You have to go check them out.
Didn't the Mammoth just win another championship or something?
That's lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
But
Oh, man,
yes,
I'm really
they
off.
sure did though.
Really off then.
No, that's all I do. Rugby, lacrosse. I mean, some would like to say that lacrosse is a white folks sport, but did you know started by the Iroquois?
Yep.
So check this out, dude. When I used to do some work for this company called Coaches Aid, and we'd go and we'd shoot or we'd play by play, we'd broadcast everything, dude. Amateur sports, professional sports. So we got to do the World Cup of lacrosse. They had it over at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, and I got to watch that Iroquois national team get down.
That's
dude,
crazy.
they were hard. The New Zealand team, they were hard. Like
That's crazy.
These dudes were dope, bro. And like I watched high school lacrosse and. It's high school lacrosse. Like, how high school athletics is. The speed isn't nowhere near the same. Dude, these dudes were freaking flying.
Yeah.
And they were hitting.
Hitting hard.
Speaking of lacrosse, I seen our boy today at the graduation. I seen Jack,
Big Jack?
Big Jack, bro, and he is yoked.
Yeah?
It's like, why are you barely lifting weights now, bro? Like, where was that all last year? And like,
Dude, this kid is 6'5", 6'6", and
Wow.
he played offensive tackle for me, and I think it was like his junior and senior year, the only years he's ever played football. And I mean, he was getting looks and love. I think he ended up just going to school and playing lacrosse a little bit, and just that was kind of his first love. But he was dude. He was like one of those kids where like Jorge, our first year, like just big giant kid, great footwork, and like if you just had him for a few years,
Right.
be a damn good football player. But you can't coach 6'5", 6'6", bro.
yeah, for sure.
What else you got going on, Don? What's going on this month, dude? I know I got camp I'm trying to hit up, but what's going on with you with your camps?
Man, so, football. Of course, we're going to start our off-season conditioning, voluntary workouts for our football team. But we also have the DTSA camp coming down on June 2nd and 3rd. I'll be coaching the defensive line group. DeMonte Thomas is throwing it. There'll be Denver Bronco players there. It's actually going to be a combine, and they're going to track everybody's 40s and all the intangibles, and it's ran by the same company that does the NFL Combine. So it's a really good look for your athletes. If any of you athletes out there want to come and attend and be at that camp. Make sure you're there. It's going to be a good event for all my former or current players. Hit me up if you're interested in going. I got 50% off for you. All right, so shout out to me.
What's the age groups?
It's all the way from 8 years old to 18. So
Sick.
all youth kids and high school kids are welcome.
There's gonna be colleges there and stuff, or
He might have some scouts there. I don't know what he's working on right now,
Sick.
but like I said, there's going to be a lot of people watching this camp.
that's dope, dude.
Yeah, and then the following weekend after that, we have the NFA receivers quarterback camp. That's getting hosted at Westy. It's there all the time. Coach Hanna is gonna invite our quarterback to go play there, so we want to definitely start to develop him at his young age and see if he can
Yes, sir.
play that position. And then for our organization, for the Westminster Wolfpack, our first annual camp is June 17th. All open to all youth in the neighborhood, all youth around. If you want to come and learn fundamental, fun football, come out to that. It'll be at Westminster High School, June 17th, the Westminster Wolfpack.
I guess I better put that on my calendar, huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm a little last minute with my calendar sometimes. That's why we have this segment, What's New, so this will can brush me up on what I'm missing. That's dope, dude. I can't wait for that. I'm going out to Iowa on the 24th and 25th. We're gonna go do there's this group called Arte Throws. They throw some of the top level. They have some of the top level throwers in the country, high school and collegiate. Some Olympic. So they have camps all over the country, and unfortunately, the closest one is Iowa. So we're gonna do a roadie out to Iowa. Me and a couple of the kids, and go out there and participate in that. They have it for the kids, but they also have it for the coach too. So I'm excited to go out there and
So it's
just
like a camp.
add to the craft.
It's like a camp and a coach's clinic.
It's a camp, but they like for the coaches can sign up, and
like
they'll run the
interactive.
coaches through the same thing that they're running the kids through,
Okay.
so that we know how to coach it. So I'm pretty excited about that, man. Like I said, these guys they train up top level throwers. I mean, they had this kid in high school a few years back that went out to Virginia Tech. He was throwing freaking 73 feet in shot put, which is like 4 feet off the national record, and we got a couple throwers that I think next year can really make some some noise and just got to get right. And
Did
this
you
is
throw
part of
back
it.
in high school?
Yeah.
You did that too, right?
Yeah, I did. I got into that by mistake, bro. Like
Yeah.
I was my freshman year, I was ditching school, being in the park, drinking and smoking weed, just being a knucklehead.
Yeah.
And I almost couldn't play football my sophomore year because my grades weren't right going out of my freshman year. So fortunately, I had to recertify. I was able to recertify. I got to play. But my sophomore year, I had a coach come and grab me. And they're like, hey, you're throwing shot put and discus. You're participating in track this year. And I'm like, what the fuck's shot put and discus? And started doing it and started competing. And it was competition against not only myself, but other people. So I started enjoying that a ton. And from there, developed a love for it. And so that's kind of the way I pitch it to these inner city kids when I pick them up and tell them, hey, I'm going to throw you guys shot put and discus.
You never know, man. You never know what opportunity comes up, and you got to take advantage of it.
Well, and it's
Keeps you active.
if you're somebody who likes to compete and you're a competitive person, like it gets the juices going, bro. It's
course,
like it's
yeah,
one of those things
definitely.
where it's just like, all right, I got you. We're gonna go, and you make some great relationships along the way. Like I see my kids that I coach and some of the other kids they work with. Some of my kids, man, Frankie Vigil, he's my first athlete that I'm sending for track to
Class of 23.
to college to throw.
Wow.
So
man, congratulations on that too as well.
but he's such a good kid, man. Like he'll go to the JV meets and help coach our guys, and then he'll help coach other guys. And all my kids are like that, man. They're all very humble, and they're willing to teach the sport to other kids, and I love that, man. I love that about them because that's kind of how you get people to fall in love with new things, right?
Yeah,
Just
man, it's all those
introduce them.
skills, man. You never knew when you need those skills later on in life, and the more you have exposure, then they pop up sometimes. And it's happened in my life, and it's happened in yours.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to have to get one of those diapers because the baby's crying and you got to get rid of it real quick. So you got to just swing it out to the trash can.
I ain't putting that diaper that
to the
close to
alley.
my face though. I ain't putting that thing on my neck.
Yeah,
bro.
you got to press that to your neck, dog. Otherwise, that's gonna be a scratch. Now it's funny. You ever see the little videos on Instagram? Dude, my brother-in-law sent me one, and it's like it's a little person, and they're competing in shot put, and they throw the shot put, and it's like throwing an olive onto a pizza. But
The editing on that is insane because they get the bounce just right.
yeah, dude, like it lands perfectly, and I mean anybody knows a shot put doesn't bounce too much. It's a 12-pound ball of steel. So, but nah, they just had state this week. This last weekend too, we just literally just finished. And shout out to our 4x2 team. They took 12. They competed well, and then my top thrower Scotty, he got to go. He's my top disc thrower right now. He got to go down there and see this boy from Grand Junction throw 194 feet in discus. Set the 4A state record.
Jeez.
So
Shout out to him.
yeah, you know what, dude? That's why we're trying to go get better. Because we got. I told Scotty, I was like, hey man, this is what we get to. This is where we're gonna be next year. Like we got to plan on being here next year. And part of that is we're just going to get as good as we can. And, we're going to take in everything we can take in. We can take, we can take styles from our people we're competing against. We can take what they're doing and take little things and make our game better. So that's what we're going to do, bro. Like, we'll see how it works and we'll see what goes on. But I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and he was close to, making state this year. So
He was, and he would have competed, bro.
Gotta
Looking
work
at some of the distances that were thrown. I mean, he wouldn't have took first,
yeah,
but
but he's still been there.
yeah, he would have probably podiumed, just depending on, it's the right day, right conditions, you hit that throw. But, it is what it is. It gives us something to shoot for next year, bro.
Yeah.
But, yo, I want to get into our special guest before we get into anything else. It's a man, myth, of the legend. Stu used to beat me up. Up until I got bigger than him, which was like 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, something like that.
It didn't last
And
long.
I turned the tables. But nah, this is my cuz, man. He's done a lot of cool things in the neighborhood, not just this neighborhood, but in his neighborhood where he's at now, and what he's got going on with International Laser Academy. I'll just introduce him and let him tell you who he is. This is Lorenzo Coons Jr.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks for having me again, guys. Much appreciated. Thanks for the applause. Keep it going. No, it's good. So that's my cousin, and we used to have some good times together, and we still have some good times together. And
Yes, sir.
he's always pushing me, I'm pushing him, and like I said before, it's always about support. I'm an entrepreneur, and that's what I love, man. I love creating new things. I love being passionate about projects. I love helping people when I can, and when it all comes together, then it makes me very happy and hopefully successful. And we've been doing this tattoo removal thing for quite a while. My family started in laser aesthetics. My grandmother started the first laser school probably like 84 years ago. Hair removal school, I'm sorry. They didn't have lasers back then. So we started off there. My dad was the first laser school in the world, and now I own my own. And we've been going about 12 years strong. It's my 24th year in the business. And we teach people how to start their businesses and watch this industry grow from the ground up. And it's been amazing, man. It's just the technology has advanced so much. We're not breaking the skin. There's no scarring. We can make it affordable, accessible. The aftercare, everything we know about the body and how it manipulates the pigment. It's just really interesting to me. So it keeps me going because I'm a type of guy that just can't do one thing and over again. I have to always be kind of intrigued in learning, just like you guys. You got to go through a season with some kids, and then the next season it's a new set of kids, new attitudes, and new progress and new goals. And so that's what I do, and I love it, man. So I love teaching, and it goes hand in hand. And we do some programs for at-risk youth that need tattoos removed. We do stuff for women who are in the sex trade and who are branded with different tattoos. And, we do programs for single mothers and fathers with visible tattoos. So a lot of that stuff is what I like to do. And then also the part of helping people grow their businesses as well.
Very cool, dude. Like, I know you've done this forever. Being able to see the whole thing kind of mature and the whole process kind of fold out, man, with Onk and with you. Looking at your website, ilaseracademy.com. People can go there and enroll. Reading this bio, though, man.
Or just check us out on Instagram. It's at the letter I, the word laser, the word academy. And if anybody has any questions, I'm always happy to answer them. We're going to be doing a lot of live stuff and answering questions about tattoo, debunking myths, and some of the things we're seeing out there. So we're going to be pretty active on socials here. We're doing some classes online, so people will be able to sign up for on classes, for very affordable classes that are very interactive and supportive. So we're excited about the next chapter, man.
Now, do you guys help people build up their companies, or do you have several businesses in a bunch of locations?
Yeah, so a combination of things. So I've helped build, multiple location businesses. as being clinic director, and I do consulting for people.
Okay.
So I have our other company, ILA Consulting, which does business consulting, and then I also have my other company that does digital marketing for Google Analytics, stuff like that. So, yeah, we're in all aspects, man. We're growing, looking to open up a few more clinics again here soon. It's just a really, really good time for us right now just to see the growth. And yeah, anybody who I have students that I taught like 10, 11 years ago, and I'm still talking to them on a monthly basis, coaching them. New things come up. So I'm very supportive in everything I do.
That's what's up.
Is there any area you won't remove from?
I've removed a tattoo off of every area of the body except for one, and that's the tongue. And I just recently found out people are getting their tongues tattooed.
Wait, you can get your tongue tattooed?
Apparently, yeah. That's the only one but I've done inside the ear, every other part of the body, fingers to the tip of your head.
Eyelids and
Eyelids, eyeliner. We don't really promote that too much, but I have earlier in my career helped people with that. Yeah.
Is
Permanent
that more-
makeup.
Is there any obvious more risk in some areas than others?
Yeah, man, that's why we don't do it. We don't get close to the eye, man. If that laser hits you in the eye, then
Yeah.
we wear protective goggles. We put metal eye shields on you if you're doing anything on the face. But yeah, if you got anything that's there's parts that are, you have exposure. You don't want people to have adverse reactions. So, and then I have places that I just know it's difficult to remove a tattoo. So, what people don't know is the machines are great, the technology is great, but there are things that just are not possible. And so, why put someone through all that pain and expense if we can't guarantee them a result they're looking for?
Yeah.
So I know you said you've been doing this a long time, and we obviously I have some idea of what kind of got you going in this and why you started going in this, but I really don't. Like, it's one thing we've never really talked about. Like, I remember as a kid, you kind of wanted to go a different path, and you were trying different paths, and you kind of it's the family business, so to speak. And,
It is,
but it's different than what Uncle's doing. It seems.
right.
What made you choose this path?
So, having some legends in our family in the industry, it was difficult to walk in their footsteps. Being a man, they were doing a lot of hair removal and skin rejuvenation, wrinkle reduction, all that stuff. And no one wants a little 20-year-old kid, doing their bikini line. So it wasn't really a good career path. So I got into marketing and advertising and digital design. Just found like that wasn't really what I wanted. I loved the art aspect, but it was just long hours in front of a computer, no social activity. And one day my dad's like, hey, there's a machine coming out that removes tattoos. I think it's a fad. I don't think it's ever going to work. It's painful. It's basically scarring people. We're bleeding the tattoos out back then. And I was just dumb enough to give it a try. And I just fell in love with it because I love the tattoos. I love the people. I love how quick the treatments are. I loved being one of the first people to do that. Really kind of like got my juices going where I can make my own path.
Okay.
And the aspect of traveling, that's really what got me, because after I left here and started my school in New York, people from Europe and Australia and all over the place were asking me to come to their offices to train them. And I was like getting to see the world. Like, I had never had that much of an opportunity to do that. And I was getting able to travel all over the world just on their dime, just to get going. So that's what got me going. And then just falling in love with the growth of it, trying to make it better. A lot of the things we do now at every clinic in the world, they were started at our offices. Like all the aftercare stuff we're doing now, the protocol design, all that stuff started. So we were able just to kind of grow and then give it out to the world and kind of create this industry. So first it was the traveling, then it was the money, and then it was just like, the experience of having something that no one else was doing and having a really interesting job.
Dude, I think it's unique in itself. Yeah, for sure. Like you said, like having seen where it's come from with you and the family. Like I remember seeing Onk on like the morning show on 9 News or something. Like,
yeah, we were
doing
doing playbacks yesterday.
doing some
man.
of his things. Like it's definitely a unique field, bro, and it's one that kind of, as long as you can continue to put your own touches on it, will be a field that's just your field. You know what I mean? Like, and it'll ever kind of evolve with you as you evolve in it. Is there anything that ever surprises you or has you like, what the hell's going on? Like,
Every day, man. Every day. I actually have a book that I write in, and it says what I learned new about tattoo, and I'm up to like volume 11 now. Because I'm always like finding interesting stuff, but I think where you're going is like crazy tattoos or things like that.
I just think anything in general, bro. Like, the things that people have removed off of them. I'm sure, like, I'm sure there's some wild tattoos and like tattoo placements, but I mean, just you just walk in and like this is who you're working with today, and this is what you're because I remember you used me as a model a few times to kind of teach with the laser, and I go in there, it's like here, I zap this one, and you're sitting there zapping it or whatever. So I'm just like when you walk into an examination room and you see what the hell you're removing.
Yeah, man. It's not even really about the tattoo. It's about how it's affecting that person. Because you just see a tattoo on somebody and you're like, oh, it's just a tattoo. They might have got this or that. But then once you hear the story behind it or why they want it removed or what it means to them or what it meant to them, those are where it gets really, really interesting. There's like a psychological aspect to it where you're just like, there's been times when I told people like, and I probably shouldn't, I was like, this is a beautiful tattoo. I don't know why you're removing it. And it had some deep meaning for them and it reminded them of something of the past. And, there's been times when, it's just silly. I got a girl that came in one time and she had Sean on her 4 different places and they were all spelled different ways. And she's like, I don't know, I have a thing for Sean's. I was like, man. I was like, all right. And the guy that was bringing her in, his name was Sean too. So it was, yeah, man.
He's like, I'm SHAUN.
WN, yes, EAN. Yeah,
Was
man.
it the same spelling?
There were the 4 were different spellings.
Keep that one. That one's the
that
same
one's
as
good.
my name. You keep
No,
that
he
one.
wanted that off too, man. He was paying for it too. He was like, get them all off. And there's other things where, it's just weird, people that, wanted, like, I have one lady in New York right now. I think we've removed the same tattoo 4 times. So she's had it removed, redone, removed, redone, removed, and now redone again. Oh, Jesus. So, yeah, man, there's some definitely things you just never know what you're walking into and how well people are going to take care of it. And it keeps me interested.
So what's like the variety of places that these businesses open up in? Like, I feel like this would be like a tattoo shop to be able to have a tattoo removal in a tattoo shop. Like
that's what I like. I think it's the best because I find that you have clientele walking in already. You have people who know about how to put the tattoos on. I think in laser aesthetics or laser tattoo removal, people don't give the tattoo industry enough respect because if you really know how, and I've done an internship for tattooing. I'm not a great tattoo artist. I don't want to tattoo nobody. Don't ask me because I'm not good. But that's the thing. Like if you know how to put them on, you know how they, the types of ink used, the needles being used, then it makes your job easier on how to remove them. So that's one. I always say there's like 4 different types of business. There's the tattoo laser and the tattoo shop. There's the medical doctor clinics that some people only go to their doctor or dermatologist. Then you have the med spa situation where you do a bunch of things and you're kind of feeding your business through that way. And then you have the people who are specialists that just do tattoo removal, and that's all they do at their office.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think the most underrated thing about what you do, you kind of touched on it a little bit, is the tattoo removals you do for at-risk youth. Kids that are in gangs or people that are coming out of prison.
Yeah.
That are gang related, and maybe gang relation got them to prison, right? And now getting out, they want to change their life. Well, it's hard to be like to feel encouraged about changing when you see your set on your body all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one that you guys do. And then
Or
you
even-
mentioned the sex trafficking one. It's another one. I think that's really cool, man. That I think there's a lot of organizations that do that stuff, but I think it's important to kind of help people kind of really overcome what they're trying to get over.
Yeah, man. And it's not even that. Just not only the gang stuff, it's the racial stuff too. So you get like swastikas and guys are like, I'm sorry, man, I got to show you this. And, I'm a person of color. So, but I always tell them like, hey, are you going to get any more? And they're like, absolutely not. And I'm like, all right, I'm happy to help you move past it because they can't go to the pool with their kids. They're going to get judged. I've had people it ruins their life. And they didn't even choose. They weren't racist when they went in, but they had to fit in. And so they just had to fit in with the group. And when you have to fit in with the group, you get marked. And some of those programs are tough because we'll start lasering these guys when they're on parole. And the system's so messed up, man. Like, they can go back for any reason.
Yeah.
And now you go back, and now the gang members are saying your tattoo's half faded, so you're removing it.
Yeah.
And it puts their lives in danger. So we have to be very careful. So what we're doing right now with a group of doctors in California is I'm going to go out there and train their nurses, and they're putting actual lasers in the prison
Oh, that's what's
so
up.
that they can start the process while they're waiting to be paroled. And then when they get out, those tattoos aren't going to affect them getting a job or something.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get a job when you have those visible tattoos sometimes. And so visible tattoos, gang tattoos, race tattoos, they're going to be doing those all through the state grant.
Plus, we've all been dumb and drunk before Mexico and got some shit tattooed
Oh,
on
check this
you,
out.
or like, you know, I mean, we've all been young and dumb, you know. Sometimes you
Yeah.
get some shit tattooed on you that you want tattooed on you, you know, anymore.
Yep, or you grow out of, you know what I mean?
Grow out of
Or
it,
you
man.
break up with her or
Yeah,
him.
hey,
Yep. We just did a study, and it was like we did this study twice. The first time we did it, people regretted their tattoo after 2 years, looked into tattoo removal at 4 or 5 years, and then did some at the 6-year mark. That was the majority of people in the survey. Now it's getting to the point where people regret it in the first year, and then they're looking at tattoo removal in their third year. And so what's happening is like these tattoos are just, the trends are going so fast. There's so many artists out there. People don't like them because they'll do it, and next thing you know, 50 other people have the same tattoo, you know. So the trends are switching so fast, and the technology is getting so good that more people are getting tattoo removal. It's really the best time to get in our industry right now because it's just acceptable, easier, all that stuff that I mentioned earlier. But yeah, man, their fashions change, man, especially in a place like New York. It's just constant.
Well, and it's funny because a lot of like it seems like nowadays you see more people with tattoos than ever before. So I gotta imagine that just opens up a whole nother industry because like in 10 years these people might not want these tattoos no more. People change and follow fads so quickly. You know, I'm sure at some point the tattoo-less person is gonna be the in person.
Now they're saying like young kids aren't really into tattoos as much as they were. So it's coming around to a point where tattoos were cool. It set you apart from people, but now everybody has them.
Yeah,
Now the young kids are like, it's cool not to have a tattoo.
yeah.
So
And it's funny because I be seeing all these kids at the schools, bro, at the high schools, and they're freaking sleeved up.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell you get
well, that's
sleeved
it.
at
You know,
16? Like,
that's it. You know, they just do that work. I remember Mario that's our other cousin. He got a tattoo machine for a minute, you know, and he was like, "I'm ready to go." Oh, you got one?
I let him guinea pig
Oh,
me,
you
dog.
got one.
I let him get. He did okay.
You got a Mario special.
He did okay. I let him guinea pig me.
He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad, man. For someone who didn't have an internship and just kind of learned on his
Yeah,
own,
he
wasn't bad at all.
He got them pig skins, and he was sitting out in my dad's garage, just
He wanted it,
hitting 'em
man. He
up.
wanted it.
hit them up.
Is there anything you would turn a customer away for?
Oh yeah, man. You know, we don't really turn people away, but unless it's like a medical reason, you know, autoimmune deficiencies or you know, some skin issues or something like that. But most people that want complete removal, sometimes that's not possible because it's just too many layers of pigment or it's too young or scarring that was caused by the artist. But we will lighten for cover up. So that's the goal. Is like if we want to try to help as much as we possibly can. But there are limitations to this. So like if you have a bright yellow tattoo, one of the hardest colors to remove, it reflects light, it settles deep in the skin, and makes it really difficult to remove. So, and then the eyes, we can't do anything around the eyes. It's just too dangerous for people.
Yeah.
And you guys, you have to do this. Like, is it still multiple like sessions?
Yeah, it's still going to be multiple sessions because it's really not a matter. You know, we have a $300,000 piece of equipment that we use, and doesn't matter how great that equipment is, your body still has to metabolize it. So if you're drinking, smoking, you're not running or doing any exercise, you're gonna have a harder time with it, you know. So people that invest money in this, we tell them like, invest your money in this and also in your health because it's gonna save you in the long run and it's gonna help us, you know, get rid of the tattoo.
it faster.
And so the surface area after you remove is okay to tattoo over again if
Yep.
they would like that.
Yeah, we just leave it, you know, at least for 12 weeks is usually what I say. Some people are a little bit different, but if you leave it 12 weeks, then the artist can do a cover up and the epidermis and dermis layer are perfectly intact.
I mentioned being a guinea pig for him before. So what I did is I had my last name tatted on me one year, like when I was like 19, garage tattoo, and it was ugly. And so he hit it up. I think it was just one session. He hit it up to lighten it up a little bit, and so I went back to the actual tattoo artist, and he cleaned it up, and it was fine. Like, they don't like I didn't like scab up or scar up or anything like that. I just feel like a rubber band snapping your skin, and then homie was able to tattoo over it with no issues.
And the more time you leave between the treatments, the better. That's what people don't get. They want to get it done right away, back forth. You know, if you don't give the time to heal, you can leave it for 6 weeks, 10 weeks, doesn't matter. It's going to continue fading. Right now on my shoulder, I have one treatment on each side, and this was done with a Pico laser. This was done with the Accuser's laser. And this one's about 90% gone with just one treatment. This is about 85% gone. And I've left them for about 5.5 years just to do an experiment on myself to see how much ink is actually affected in one single treatment, and then how much health and exercise play into that. And so, yeah, just did a little experiment myself. So anybody who's getting tattoo removal, they find it too expensive, just put more time between the treatments. And if you don't have the, I want it off in a year or want it off in a couple months, if you're not too eager to do it, just leave the time. You get it off in 2 or 3 treatments if you put enough time between them.
You mentioned cost. How does cost kind of break down on something like this for some of the viewers that might be interested?
Yeah, so I'm trying to change the industry in the way we do that because right now it's by size. You get size of tattoo, it's subjective, it's confusing. You got to send a photo in, you got to come in for the consultation, and so those prices can vary depending on locations and can be very confusing for a client. And so pricing by size is one way, but I'm finding it's really better to do flat fee pricing, and we're trying to get the industry to say, hey, this is a flat fee, $200, $250. Doesn't matter the size of the tattoo because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be doing a full chest piece. We should do one side, wait 4 weeks, do this side. Then this has 8 weeks to heal if we go back and forth. So if you just said 200, 200, 200, you're getting multiple clients in that one person. You're creating a really healthy lymphatic system and making it really affordable. Anybody can put $200. Most people can put $200 on their credit card, and it'd be okay. It's not going to affect their life. But when you're paying $700, $800 for a treatment, you might not have it that month, and you're waiting 8 to 12 weeks between treatments. A lot of life happens there. So we try to make it affordable and, just trying to simplify that process.
Sweet, man. So it sounds like you guys are obviously it's been how it is since forever, right? You guys are innovators in the game. You guys are trying to change the game a little bit, make it more affordable, give more people access. We're talking about access to these camps, right? Yep. Give people more access. There may be tons of people out there that want to have something removed or want to just inquire about it, right? But they're intimidated by the fact that they can't afford it or they think they can't afford it. So that's dope to hear that you guys are trying to.
Yep, a lot of misinformation out there too. So do your homework.
For sure. Now, if someone wanted to get in the field, and do what you do, how do they do that?
Yeah, so first it comes down to state regulations. Every state has a certain regulation. So there's places that even if I'm teaching in California, I'm not even allowed to touch the laser. So it's doctors only, nurses only. There are states where non-medical professionals can practice. And so that's the first thing. So just checking your state regulations, making sure you're able to do that. Colorado has a gray law, so non-medical professionals can practice. They do have to have a medical director, and we provide and help people get medical directors all the time in those states. New York is pretty much wide open. Canada is all wide open. So, but main places that you really want to stay away from if you're a non-medical professional because it's just not allowed is California, Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and then other places have just Vegas just changed too. So
the industry is pretty much nationwide, though, right? Like this is something that every state has. Some sort of situation in their town.
Back in the day, I would go to only big states, or big, that'd be Miami or New York or something like that. Now I'm going to all the little places outside of it, and it's not just one. I mean, there's like 13 places in Colorado now that do tattoo removal. So, and they're all using different equipment. So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I don't think you're going to run out of people with bad tattoos. Yeah. It's just not possible.
Again, as long as there's liquor, the people are going to make bad decisions.
Liquor and love, man.
Liquor and love. Them 2 L's.
Liquor, love, and ink.
Have you ever removed any tattoos that you can speak of off anybody famous?
That I can speak of. No, most people like to keep it pretty private. One of our clinics in New York that I work with, they did a lot of guys off the Jets. They did a lot of guys from the Knicks. Damon John, not an athlete, he came to one of our facilities out there. So from the Shark Tank guys. Yeah. There's a couple hockey players and stuff, but no one's super, super famous where I'm like, Yeah.
Fanboying out.
Yeah, I would have definitely put that on the gram.
That's what's up, man. Some real heavy hitter right here in the game, dude. I say that because real heavy hitter.
Trying.
You know what else, man? Big shout out to Icon Boxing because there's gonna be some other heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Going down May 28th. Icon Boxing proudly brings you Cero Miedo, a 2023 show for the bouts. Let me get me right real quick. It's going down, like I said, May 28th at Icon Sales. Coach Dom and I, we're going to have the play-by-play live streaming on our YouTube channel, so make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. Over 29 fights, Mario said the other day. They're going to have an appearance from Floyd Cashflow Diaz, who is like Floyd Mayweather's little protege. So you'll have a professional in attendance, and it's going to be a great night of fights, man. Like I said, 28 fights. It starts at noon. I imagine it's going to be going on through early evening. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff, so we can get you guys set up with the right link. You guys can tune in and watch these fights because it's going to be a blast, man. I can't wait to do this event. This is kind of a path that we've been trying to push with some of the stuff we do with DNA, our DNA media side. So I'm super excited to see what this can possibly snowball into. Look out for Coach Al and Coach Dom calling your games on a Saturday or Friday evening.
Nice
Yeah,
one.
man. Make sure you hit us up too. You could get tickets from us, or you could get tickets at the door, but they're going quick. So make sure you get your tickets fast if you want to be in the building. But like Coach Al said, if you're not in the building, don't worry because it will be on YouTube Live for you.
If you're on the live right now, you're seeing that poster, and that's a dope poster by Mara that he put together. Man, we were, again, going back, we were there on last week on Thursday, and seeing these young people just put that work in, man, like, that inspired me a little bit. These little Project X, that boy's got hands. MCF, that boy's got hands. Like, these kids are, the way they worked around the ring during their sparring sessions. I got to get in there and just get that camera up close and personal, and man,
I was hoping one of them accidentally caught you one time. Just
I know you noticed how good I was on my feet.
hey, I was.
I know you noticed that.
was like,
I just
look
want
at
you
it,
to know
moving,
that. Like,
twinkle toes.
hey, I got them. Man, listen, I was an offensive lineman. There's a reason why, as an offensive lineman coach, I coach footwork and hand placement, right?
Yeah.
Because, hey, if you got good footwork,
Preach.
you dealing with these fast defensive ends that like to get around the end. You're able to stop them a little bit, man. And that's what I take pride in. That's what I coach. So, yeah, flipping the script. My cousin's here. We got to watch the Nuggets game on Thursday.
Yes.
I had to leave Mario's and had to get to the house, man. I forgot that they were coming over for the game. But, Nugs up 3-0, man.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? I'm going to be real. I didn't think they were going to take this game. I thought it was the first game back in L.A. I thought they were going to be hyped, ready to come out and get their victory. But we got it done, bro. We closed it out. So shout out to them. 3-0, looking to close out this series.
Well, Nugs are up 3-0. Game just went final in Miami. Miami's up 3-0.
Jeez.
They just beat Boston 128-102.
Man, I was hoping that would go 7. I want that to go 7. Whoever we play, I don't care. I just want them to be tired when they meet the Nuggets.
So let me get to that, because it was one of the questions I'd written down for this conversation. Are you concerned if the Nuggets sweep the Lakers? Like, I want to sweep them just because we haven't swept a team ever, and how sweet it would it be
I
to
wouldn't
go
wanna
ahead
say
and
the
sweep?
S word, man. I'm afraid to say the S word, but I want it bad.
What shit?
Sweet.
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
want to jinx it. I don't
No.
want to jinx it.
I'm not afraid of it. Why be afraid of it?
Well, I just asked because, like,
You don't want that rest.
the finals aren't starting to June 1st regardless,
Yeah.
right? So I guess with Miami being up 3-0 as well, I'm not stressing it as much, especially if they can close out, because I don't think Boston's going home to play again. I think the Miami series is getting done in Miami. And it was crazy to see today before the game that Boston was still a favorite to win the series, even being down 2-0.
So you think Miami's more likely to sweep Boston than Nuggets?
No. The only reason why I was concerned is because I thought that series might go a little bit longer. Even though what I just said, like, I don't expect Boston to get back home. But even if that series went a little bit longer, like, the Lakers are done. Like, they look done. Like,
LeBron is done.
Yeah.
LeBron's definitely done.
This season they look
Those ankles
done.
ain't holding up.
No, and so yesterday was a prime example, man. That's a game the Nuggets usually lose, right? The
These aren't the same
referees are
Nuggets,
blowing
though,
the whistle.
man.
No, they're not. And
And they
that's
had the rest in the beginning, the first round of the playoffs. They
Yeah.
had that big rest before they even had a game, and that didn't really affect them.
no, and then
came out,
they
played hard.
finished that game, that first series in 5, and that didn't affect them. And I'm not too concerned about it, to be honest with you. If they do complete the sweep, I think we can use some rest.
Definitely.
And what makes me least concerned about it is the way they approached the play-in break that they had during the play-in tournament,
Right.
and then the break they had after beating Minnesota. Like, they
Right.
had a small break. It
They're a
doesn't.
better team when they have time to study, I think.
I think so, and with it now being 3-0 in both series,
like even if Boston wins a couple games and sends it to game 6, right? The Nuggets can almost assure themselves that they're going to be studying Miami.
Oh yeah,
They're going to
Oh,
be,
yeah.
you know, and Eric Spoelstra, we've talked about this yesterday. We talked about it earlier. Eric Spoelstra is a damn good coach. And so if he has less time to study the Nugs
Right.
than Mike Malone,
Yep.
that should work in our favor a little bit. I respect the shit out of Miami, though.
But who on our team is going to shut down Jimmy Butler? That's what's up. Like, who do we have to stop Jimmy Butler? Because he's going to go at Jokic hard every single time.
I mean,
And maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse, you know,
I'll,
because
I'll
we're not
just
there yet.
I'll
but
just say we put AG on him.
yeah,
You know, we put AG.
someone's going to need to absorb some fouls or something.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you can't have
PJ.
Joker. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
PJ.
yeah,
Well, look, you could throw AG out there. You could throw Christian Braun on him to get some fouls and rough him up a little bit. You know, you could throw KCP on him a little bit.
I think KCP. Yeah,
You know, I
he
think
has that dog
KCP and
in him.
Aaron Gordon right there are the two.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, and you mentioned it with the dog and KCP. Them
Brown,
shots he hit yesterday.
Brown.
Them shots he hit in game
Brown
3.
and Brown.
Brown. They're both
Brown.
Brown.
We
They're the
have
Brown
three
brothers.
Yeah.
Do we have it? 3
Yeah, we
Browns?
caught that Brown from the Lakers in that trade at the end
I
of the
thought,
season.
I thought his name was Bryant.
Is it Bryant?
We got
It's
at least 2
Bryant. You're right. It
Browns.
is Bryant. You're
We
right.
got 2
you're right.
Browns, right?
2 Browns.
And we got a green. We got 2 Browns and a green.
2 Browns and a green.
Sounds like we're
Bryant.
rolling a blunt.
Yeah. Hey, do we have the best bench left in the playoffs? I personally feel like we
That's
do,
a good
man.
point.
I think our bench is why we are where we're at right now. Honestly, I think obviously Jokic plays phenomenal all the time. You know, he's been killing it with all his triple doubles. Murray's been lights out this playoff. It's like we got Bubble Murray back.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, that's
our-
playoff Murray now,
But
boy.
but our bench, bro, is really came out and played some ball. I think in the games that we've lost have probably been their most down games. But other than that, we're balling off the bench.
So those non-Jokic minutes, like they were worried about that stuff,
Yeah.
and that's saved us the last game. When he was on the bench, we came back
Exactly.
twice. I think that happened in that game.
Bro, Gabe Vincent went off for 29 points tonight. You know how many Jimmy Butler had? In a 128-102 victory.
I didn't see what's up.
16.
There you go.
They had 22 off the bench from Robinson, 18 off the bench from Martin. But they played
They're
freaking
adjusting well.
Dude, they played 12 people, 11 people in this game. You know, they got a deep bench too.
They do. I
But
just
the thing
maybe
that's
I'm biased.
the thing I worry about a little bit is them. If Miami makes it into the finals, they may have Tyler Hero be able to come back off of his hand injury. That just gives them another option. They're clicking. We're clicking though.
Yeah. Sorry,
We're really clicking. I'm excited to see what the Nugs are doing. That game yesterday with Jamal going 30 in the first half, and then
Insane.
they started guarding him differently,
Yep.
and so KCP, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, they start hitting shots. Bruce Brown, like that dude got a player option for next year. We just need to go ahead and pay him.
Yeah, pay the man.
And I know it's hard. We're eventually gonna come up against that cap, but that dude is that guy.
I think you pay it, man. You pay
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, right? Trade somebody away, get rid of somebody else. But who? I guess it's kind of moot asking this, but who would you rather have seen, Boston or Miami?
Boston, they soft.
And their coach is being
He's a rookie.
out coached like crazy right now.
See, I mean, going into the playoffs, I'd probably said Miami, obviously.
Going into this series or into the
Going
playoffs?
playoffs
into the
when they were
playoffs, just like
playing.
from the East, I didn't want to see the Celtics. Like I thought the Celtics were the team to beat in the East, besides the Bucks. You know, and when Giannis went down, I thought the Celtics were that team. But the way the Heat are playing right now, it's one of those scary instances, right? It's one of those teams that catches fire, and you gotta worry about that kind of a team. So, I think honestly, we're on a one-way path for the Nugget and the Heat to just go at it, and it's going to be a great finals. I think it might go 7, but it's going to be a show.
I think Jimmy though wants that revenge because that bubble loss to the
Yeah.
Lakers. He got there, he was so close, and now he's gonna do it again. He's gonna be just a nightmare. Man.
What's wild, dude, is looking at this box score for this game tonight between Boston and Miami. Jason Tatum, who's been non-existent in this series, 14 points. Jaylen Brown, who's supposed to be their second best player,
Yeah,
12 points. Michael Brogdon, who I think, did he win Sixth Man of the Year this year? Like, he was in the running for Sixth Man of the Year, 0 points.
Jeez.
Like they had Brown and Tatum were the only two starters in double digits. Everyone else couldn't break double digits.
Wow.
Like that team seems like almost like a team that's quit.
Yeah.
You know, and I wonder if the coach has lost them. You know, they had a weird year. You know, they had a weird year. They're definitely starting to see, you know, the problem with their coaching is starting to become evident right here, dude. And it makes me wonder because Joe Mazzulla was the interim, and then they signed him as like full term coach, like what in January or December. It makes me wonder if you know
They haven't
he
grown.
survives.
They haven't really grown.
No.
You know, like if you bring in a new coach, you want to see an improvement. But
Yeah.
they've kind of just been the same team.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's bringing to the table, man. But
We'll see, man.
those
Hey,
Boston fans, they're not nice up there, man. I used to live in Boston, and man, they're gonna be screaming from the rooftops.
I'm looking forward to a Nuggets Heat series. We'll have the home court advantage.
Yes,
And
yes.
you know, you mentioned not getting the cart in front of the horse, but God damn it, I'm riding down the mountain with my horse, and we're watching the cart go in front of us, dude. I'm excited to have the NBA Finals come to Denver.
Oh,
and if
man.
these tickets weren't so inflated, I'd be
Still
there.
we still probably got to make it.
I
We
think
got to try.
I'll go to a watch party.
Yeah.
the watch parties are dope, though.
Yeah, my buddy was at one last night. He said it was so fun. He's like, it was like being at the game.
Yeah,
So,
they get going, dude. They get going pretty wild. I seen them last year for the Avalanche.
we had I live in Toronto, and so when the Raptors were going, we had Jurassic Park, and that was crazy, man. They had Drake down there and stuff, and people were just watching the games outside the stadium while they were going on inside the stadium, and it was a party out there, man. Hopefully, Denver might do something like that.
See, that's
for the
sick.
people.
I would go do that.
Yeah.
They did something like that at the Tivoli, didn't they? For the Avalanche, I believe
Yeah,
they
I
had
think so.
had a little watch
No,
party like that
nice.
here for the Avalanche too. So I'm sure they'll do something like that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
I mean, that was just as fun.
yeah. I mean,
No, probably not.
dude,
but it was
technology
fun.
nowadays with the TVs, bro, like you get better view than you do in the seats. You know
And
what
you
I
can hear
find
what's going on.
when I'm at Pepsi Center or Ball Arena now, I end up finding myself watching the monitor.
Jumbotron.
Yeah, because it's such a clear image. Like it's right there in front of your face. Like
Yeah, I'm usually behind the basket if I get close enough, and I can't see what's going on the other side of the court. So
this motherfucker.
You know, it's also going to be key if we see Miami is who controls the boards more. Because I think both teams right now is kind of why they're leading their series
Yeah.
as well, is because we're crashing the boards on the Lakers, and same with Miami.
Yeah, I think yesterday, the first half of yesterday's game was the first time the Nuggets had been out rebounded by LA in the series, and that was big because Anthony Davis came into the series as the leading rebounder in the playoffs, and it just we've been dogs on that glass, dude.
You
and
have
and
to.
you can't let good teams have second chance
No, not-
points.
especially that team when they have that
Yep.
length.
Yeah, especially them guys that can shoot from the perimeter. Reeves has been killing it. He's probably the second best player in the series so far for the
Man.
Lakers.
Hey, they better sign that man too, man. That
Yeah, undrafted free agent.
I hate
second
that
year.
kid, but I got mad respect for him.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, he can shoot. He can shoot.
he's a gamer.
I don't know where everyone else went, but yo, you up that kid for sure.
Yeah,
You know, you keep D'Angelo Williams out there for the or D'Angelo Russell.
Russell, I
Excuse
was
me.
like Russell. I was
Williams.
like, yeah.
You keep that boy out there for the series for the Nuggets.
I love that man.
We'll
shooting the
take
ball.
it. Yeah.
Every time he shoots the ball, I'm like, thank you.
I love his defense.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
Jeff
what
Van
you call
Gundy,
that.
hey, out here on the radio out here, Jeff Van Gundy was on talking to them about the Nuggets, and this was after Game 2, and he was hating on Bruce Brown because Bruce Brown was talking shit.
Yeah.
talking about how our plan for D'Angelo is just to attack him. He can't play very good defense. He tries, but he can't play very good defense. And Van Gundy was hating. He's talking out of pocket, and then you hear it in these broadcasts. You hear it in these commentators. You know, it's almost as if they're disappointed that the Nuggets are winning or that the Lakers are losing, and they just have this this attitude about themselves. Like, you know, it's a disappointment to them to see the Nuggets doing what
Beginning
they're
of the
doing.
game, Ben Gundy said Denver's lucky to be. They struck gold, and they're lucky to be where they're at before the game started.
It's like, nah, bro, that's hard work.
They've been number one all year.
That's why they're gonna have to take their respect because no one's giving it. You know what I mean? So that's what this is about. They didn't want to give Jokic his MVP, and now he's out for blood, bro. And the team got his back, and we got that chip on our shoulder, and
Yeah.
that's what they're playing with. So, I mean, that's what's dangerous too, and that's what's exciting because Miami's playing with that same chip.
Yeah.
So it's like, who wants it more?
Who's got the bigger chip, bud?
Yeah, like who wants it more, bro?
I think we have more weapons in that bench.
I
man.
do too.
You
I
know.
do too.
Oh yeah, and to answer your question earlier, dude, the Nuggets definitely have the deepest bench, the deepest team. And I won't even say arguably they have the best team remaining, but no championship's ever been won on paper. So we're gonna have to go out there and make it happen. I say we're gonna have to go out there and make it happen.
It's a lot of traveling too, man. We talked about the Raiders
Yeah.
game. Denver to Miami.
It's a 2-3-2, right, in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think
Yep,
the finals
yep.
are a
They
2-3-2.
changed it
So
up, yeah.
it's going to be uber important to hold home court.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go back to Miami split. And again, we're assuming it's going to be Miami. You don't want to go back to Miami split.
4 home games for
Hey,
him.
and,
Yeah.
and listen, Miami right now in the playoffs is 5-0 at home,
So what? The Lakers were 7.
and we're 8-0.
That's right.
So
The Lakers were 7-0 until last night.
we're both two great home teams. You know what I
do
mean?
it.
So we're gonna have to make sure we do that, but we're also gonna have to go to Miami if that's who we play, and still 1 there, still 2 there.
Yeah. I
A lot of
mean,
distractions in Miami too.
Yeah.
South Beach, baby.
Going to Miami.
Hey, if I was Miami, I'd be sending young ladies to them boys' room all night long. I would try to have some. I try to have some Colorado Avalanche situation come up with Nichushkin. Try to have that with like maybe Jamal Murray or Jokic. Try to send some kind of Russian woman up
So
there.
I was when I was younger, I worked at the Brown Palace Hotel, and when Denver played Seattle, and this is a story, I wasn't there for it or anything like that, but the story at the hotel was that when Seattle was there, that people were sending girls, they were singing alcohol, all this stuff, and so when they lost that game, when they were here, they told everybody they got food poisoning and stuff, and everybody at the Brown Palace was like, "Nah, they were partying all night long. They didn't take the Nuggets seriously, and that's how they end up losing that game, from what I hear."
Yeah.
And you talking about game 5 of the first
Yeah,
round when the Nuggets
the
became the
Mutombo.
first 8 seed
Yeah.
to advance out of the first round.
Yep.
Back when it was a 5-game series, man, I remember that was the iconic image of my childhood.
Yep, that's when I really started loving them, man.
I thought we were going to be good, and then we turned into the late '90s Nuggets until Carmelo came through and changed the culture around there.
I thought we were gonna have a long break again, of just not winning because I didn't. We had Nurkic. He was really good for a while there, and I have no idea where the Joker came from.
Well, they were both drafted in that same draft too. Like Nurkic was our first round pick, and Jokic was our second round
They must
pick.
have seen something in the practice, and they were just like,
Yeah, well, and enough to be like, hey, we're gonna send you to Portland, which is a freaking team within our own division. We don't care if we see you again. And sucks for Nurkic because he got hurt. He broke his leg or
yeah. He's had a couple injuries.
yeah, and it just hasn't panned out. But man, we had Twin Towers.
Who was the other guy? There was Nurkic, and there was another big center we had. They were doing it together, and then Joker just came in.
I don't know. I
can't
just
remember
remember.
the
I
guys.
just remember Nurkic and Jokic.
Yeah,
I just remember because I couldn't say their names.
Can you imagine all the scouts that passed up on Jokic? Because you look at it,
Yeah.
bro, you're like, that dude ain't the dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even when you watch him dribble up the court, you're like, this dude's, what's he doing in the NBA?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's
That's my favorite meme on the internet, dude. It's like the picture of like 12-year-old Jokic.
Chubby.
Chubby Jokic is
well,
like,
looks like DJ.
There's
Yeah.
one, there's
Like
one
DJ
picture I
when he
have of
takes
him.
his shirt
He's
off.
wearing an old Nuggets shirt. Like,
Really?
Yeah, it's the old Denver Nuggets logo, and he's like maybe like 5. And they were like, it was destined to be.
Oh, that's dope.
My wife always tells me, she's like, when I was gonna buy a Jokic jersey, she's like, "Why do you want that guy's jersey? He don't even look like he can play." I was like, "Just watch, just watch."
dude, it's crazy to wonder how many people he just murked on the basketball court who had that same thought when he was, who the fuck is this guy? This guy can't do nothing to me. I'm way better than him. And the next thing you know, he drops a quiet triple double on you, and you're just looking foolish.
Yeah.
Dude, the shots he makes, the shots that he attempts and has the balls to attempt, and make them. It's just phenomenal to me, man. He's the best Nugget ever.
He's
And
efficient, man. So efficient with his movements. Like he's an assassin. Everything is calculated and touch, and you can't teach that, man.
even
That's-
on his quiet games, man. Yesterday he had, arguably his quietest game of the playoffs. He still got to his 23, 24. He still had 8 rebounds, 6 assists. The game 2, quietest triple double I've ever seen. Like I thought he
when I
wasn't
heard
playing
that, I
that
was
well,
like-
and they're like, he's got a triple double. I'm like, Jesus, for real? He's almost averaging a triple double on this series.
Yep.
Like the dude is just. It's time for him to get his due, and I'm happy to start seeing some of these talking heads actually start to pay him some respect because it's long overdue, man.
man.
The dude is great. I enjoy seeing greatness. It's cool to have him
Small
here.
part of me wanted to see that 76ers Embiid Joker
Yes.
finals.
Yeah,
I
we
was,
talked
like,
about that a
eager for
little bit.
man, yeah.
But of course, Embiid couldn't. I mean, you can't win alone.
Embiid.
You can't win by yourself. You can't just win with Embiid and James Harden. We need other players to step up. To hear him say that shit, man, that's something that Jokic would never say.
No,
Jokic would never
in a
say
million
that.
years.
He would say, "Hey, I got to get better."
Or even when he has a great game, he champions Murray.
Yeah.
Even when Murray maybe not had the greatest game, he calls him the best player out there, man. Like, he's just humble and hungry, man.
Bro, I listen to the radio a lot. Listen to it a lot. Especially like I like listening to the games more.
Yeah.
And they'll play the press conferences afterwards, and to hear Murray talk about, they're like, oh, how are you able to take over a game? So, and he's like, well, we got good players over here. Like, it's never about me, it's about the we. And dude, that's why I feel like the Nuggets, just to tie a little bow on this thing, that's why I feel the Nuggets are going to win the championship this year, because whenever the collective we is greater than the me, that's the recipe for success, dude. And they found that. And I was telling you this yesterday, Lorenzo. They were talking to KCP, and they were asking him, like, when did you guys know you could be champions? And he's like, back in training camp.
Yep.
Because I seen the work we put in, and I seen that guys are willing to put in the dirty work, and not worry about themselves. When you got Michael Porter Jr. talking about, hey, you know what? Some guys don't finish the game. They'll start them, but they don't finish them. Someone else has to come in and finish them, and we're all okay with that.
It's not a fake humble either. You
No.
see teams fake that sometimes. Like, we're a team, and we'll give their props to their guys, but this is not fake. This is
Absolutely
the method.
genuine. It's exciting, dude. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
and bringing in guys like KCP really, really helped the Nuggets out, man. Because again, our bench, bro, and the guys that come off the bench and
Bruce Brown.
just our role players are
Yep.
just ridiculous.
Yep. It's exciting, man.
Go Nugs.
Go Nugs. Tomorrow night, are we closing it out?
So,
Oh, gee, don't choke on the words now.
excuse me.
I know you said 6, but
Yeah, but now I feel like we got to get it done before 6,
got you.
right? Because if we get to the 6 points to game 6, that means they win a game.
Win
To
2.
get to there, right? And that might be a little too much momentum. We don't want to give them no momentum. Let's just end it right now.
Let's end it, man. I want to do it on the Lakers court.
Take
I
them out
want
of their
those
misery.
fans to cry in those really expensive seats. I want LeBron just not even talking to the media. I want AD throwing a tantrum.
Yes.
And maybe,
Preach.
push a kid on the way out that way. No.
He needs to bet his unibrow on it.
I would agree. I want to finish it, and I think we do finish it. I think the focus that the Nuggets are coming with, after seeing them game 2 and after seeing them in game 3, I think they're on a whole nother level right now. Their focus is a whole nother way. So,
Who's the star player of the game?
what, tomorrow?
Yeah, we close it out. Who's the star
Joker.
player?
Joker. He's going triple-double tomorrow again.
Yeah.
He's going. He'll probably have maybe the last assist will come on just the last garbage time bucket they get before they have to swap them guys out. But I'd like to go double digits win, and Joker going with a triple dub.
We talked about it earlier, man. I need AG to have a big game.
Yeah.
I want him to be the player of the game.
There you go.
But Joker's, I'm betting on him because it's always a safe bet.
Yeah.
No, that last assist going to be the AG in a little corner 3. Put the Nuggets up by 13. Probably like a minute and a half left, and at that point, the Lakers are going to realize it's done.
Yep.
It's going to be done.
See, I think you're both right. I think Jokic is going to have a phenomenal game, right? He's probably going to be the main reason, but I think MPJ is also going to play a big part, a big part. I think he's going to be on fire, kind of. He's going to be shooting.
Yeah.
Because we know he's our shooter, right? He likes to shoot. I think he's going to be on tomorrow, and I also think defensively, he's coming to play. So I think watch out for MPJ tomorrow.
And I won't be shocked if it's Murray.
I was just going to say,
I won't be
like,
shocked if it's Murray.
I was just gonna say, like, we all neglected to mention Murray, and
I was not
all he's
neglecting
doing
him.
is averaging 34, 35 points in this series.
Hey, but remember, I did say he was going to be the leading
Yeah.
scorer of this series, too.
Yeah.
So I'm not
I
counting
mean,
him
he's
out.
doing that every day, so it's not like it's gonna be, but someone has to have a breakout performance with that effort that he's gonna put in.
It's fun, man. It's just exciting that we could talk about it like this.
Yeah, man, I'm happy
That
we
we're
can do this.
close. And hey, I want to get that first sweep in Nuggets history.
And what better way to do it is to sweep the Lakers out of the Western Conference Finals
Yes,
and get to our
yes.
first NBA Finals.
It's gonna go crazy here.
I want to
right.
hear that team get booed out of the stadium so bad. So bad.
All right, here we go. Our least favorite part of the segment. No, I'm just playing. But being that our guest is a giant Raiders fan, and being that my brother over here is a giant Raiders fan, hey, you better stop that
What's up?
shit, or else I'll have to mute you guys.
Raiders.
Yeah, I got the controls. But being that these boys are giant Raiders fans, man, I thought it'd be cool to piss all the Bronco fans off locally and talk Raiders on this segment. So,
I still accept Bronco fans if they want to come to my course or have treatments done.
yeah.
I don't want. It's a big audience right
What
there.
did
I don't
Michael
want-
Jordan say? Republicans wear shoes too.
Bronco fans need those Bronco tattoo removed.
Moved, yeah.
They got to get that Super Bowl tattoo removed off of them.
I've done a couple of those.
Have you done some of those?
Yep, the pre-Super Bowl tattoo.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
I did the Eagles one and I did a Giants one.
That's like getting your significant other tattooed on you, man. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I'm all about the jinx, man. I don't want to jinx my teams. I would never do that.
That's one belief I have, and it's funny. East Salad don't really care. I don't think she thinks just I'm not a big proponent of like the spousal tattoo. Like I feel like if you already got that ink on the paper, you don't need that ink on your arm. You know what I mean? But I just always like, I'm not superstitious. But
Yeah.
I'm superstitious when it comes to that shit.
There's tattoo artists that won't do it.
Yeah.
They won't do it, man.
Nah, man, we ain't gonna let y'all break up. But anyway,
You can get
back
matching
to,
Raider tattoos.
back to hers and hers.
Crystal?
Speaking of the Raiders, though, man, you ready for this? Obviously, I'm just gonna jump to the part that I care about the most. You guys ready for this Miami Dolphin Raider meetup in November or what?
Yeah, it's just another
Yeah,
game
just
on the
another
schedule.
game, man. Yeah.
I
mean,
obviously
Doesn't have any like real benefit, besides
Just the Dolphins.
yeah.
man.
No,
Listen,
you guys got a squad this year,
listen.
though, man. You guys got some guys.
Hold
over there.
on a second. What do you mean it doesn't have no benefit? Football really starts in November.
Come on, Larry Zonka.
Right? Okay. Let's go then. But football really starts in November. That's when by that point, the Raiders are usually like outside the playoffs looking in. So maybe y'all don't know that real
Here we
football
go
starts in
now.
November. But nah, for real though, like the games start meaning a little bit more as the season goes on. And to see them playing in November, man, I'm kind of excited. Also because, who knows, man? Like the Raiders can be playing for that division title, be in contention for a playoff spot at that point. And the Miami Dolphins, they might be fighting for that same wild card spot.
Yep.
Nothing's given in the NFL. When you have the teams that you have in the AFC West and the teams that you have in the NFC or the AFC East, obviously with Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets, you've got the Buffalo Bills who are perennially good.
Both those divisions are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
probably the
you
two.
never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I can paint scenarios where I can easily see the Raiders, if not winning the West, taking second and getting that last wild card spot. And I can say the same thing about the Dolphins in the East. Like anything happens with the NFL, it's never, nothing's ever guaranteed. So, I think them two meeting up in November, it could be, week 10 that they meet. It could be a playoff spot on the line, and we don't even know it at that point.
Yeah, or they could both be in the hunt and someone's getting knocked out at that point. So
Yeah.
you're right. That is an important time of the year. But
Or we could talk about the disappointment that we can both be vying for that number one pick.
I mean, really, that's a tough stretch for us, to be honest. November is a tough month.
Yeah.
We got the Giants, the Jets, the Dolphins, and then the Chiefs. So, those games are
We're gonna find out.
It's gonna.
Those
gonna
games
be
don't mean
exciting.
nothing right now, though, unless we do the stuff that we need to do in the offseason. Signing certain guys. We need to get those guys going, see what Jimmy's going to do.
Well, since
Peters.
y'all bring up Jimmy, is Jimmy going to start and finish the season as a starting quarterback?
I think so.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, it just all depends,
So how do you feel about him with linking up with McDaniels?
I think Jimmy is probably one of the better quarterbacks in McDaniel's system since
Ever?
period, really. Besides Brady, obviously. But I think he has two guys that he's familiar with. We got Hoyer, which no one wants to see that scenario play out.
No.
But if
We know
Jim-
what that looks like.
But what I'm saying is, like, if Jimmy G does go down due to injury because he has history of injury, you got a guy who can plug in right away in Hoyer and still know the playbook and be familiar with it and can manage games, right?
Understand the system. That's very important.
It is very, very important. But I do think Jimmy G is going to be healthy. I think because you got receivers, bro. He's going to get that ball out quickly.
So you don't see a scenario where he struggles
No.
and gets a plug?
No, not with the person he can throw the ball to, like Da, man. Like, come on, like
Yeah.
you don't fail with that kind of receiver out there.
I mean, I watched Derek Carr fail last year with that receiver out there.
Derek Carr did.
And Waller.
Different though, bro. I think they're slightly the same, but Jimmy G is a better game manager, in my opinion. I think he's better at the short and intermediate passes too. You know, Derek Carr has more of a big arm. He's gonna try to go for that. What the Raiders love, right? We want to beat you deep, and Jimmy G's gonna nickel and dime you, bro. And that's exactly what Devontae's gonna do. He also has Hunter Renfro, third and Renfro. Like, you know, we're going to inflict damage, I think, because Jimmy G is probably one of the better fits for our offensive scheme.
That's true. I mean, I think you kind of mentioned it a little bit ago, but I think Jimmy G does what McDaniels wants him to do, and that'll be a big improvement there. If he can stay healthy, he definitely has an opportunity to be the second or third best quarterback in that division. Probably more along third.
I'm just worried about McDaniels. That's all. I'm not worried about any of the players that we have. I'm worried about the coach.
So here's another question then. I mean, if the Raiders struggle early, do you see a scenario where they pull the plug on McDaniels?
No, I don't think they can.
I think Ziegler and McDaniels have 2 more years.
2 more years.
I do.
So you think they're gonna get?
I think Mark Davis is all in on him. Honestly, I think he believes in him. I think
He can't let him fail.
Is that because the
And then he's
Raiders
just
are?
going to be like, I made another bad decision on a coach.
Yeah.
Is it because the Raiders are cash strapped and? They
Are
would-
we?
I mean, there was rumors that Tom Brady's trying to buy in.
I heard.
yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I don't like it.
No?
I mean, I would have rather him play for us, but for him to come back and own a part of us after like the Tuck rule, bro, I don't know how I feel about that.
I think he
bro.
already
Like,
owns y'all though.
He does, man. Like, how many ex-Patriot players do we have right now? Like, we are basically.
That's like Patriots West.
It is, man. And
Well, you know,
without the rings.
I think it's interesting that he's interested in purchasing a stake in the Raiders because he was trying to do the same thing with the Dolphins. That's the reason why the Dolphins didn't have a first round draft pick this year
2 teams he owned.
because it's facts,
That's facts.
big facts. But he tried to do that. You know, they got caught tampering.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to get him in as ownership, but still playing. Could you imagine that?
Crazy.
I don't know, man. I don't know that the Raiders are going to make any changes with McDaniels if they struggle early. You're probably right. He probably gets the full season, but I don't know, man. Like Mark Davis has been Al Davis was notorious for it. Mark Davis has shown willingness to cut a coach.
And what do you think gets him canned? Like, what is a successful season this year? If he is in the hot seat, what's a successful season in your opinion?
Well, would
Do
y'all
we
go
need to
last
make
year?
the playoffs,
Would you go last
or
year?
do we just got to get a?
You gotta make the
winning
playoffs.
record?
You got to be in that. You got to be in the
playoffs.
conversation for sure.
I
At least be in the
as As
conversation.
a fan, of course, I want them to make the playoffs, and as a fan, I'm saying fire his ass if we don't make the playoffs. But I'm not the guy that signs the checks.
But you got to be playing meaningful football, and you can't be getting your asses beat. Like
how
you
many
can't
of
be
the
in-
games
you
did we
can't be
get our
embarrassed.
asses beat?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
We
saying
should
like
have had a lot better record than we
We
did.
should have. There was a lot of games that, let's be honest,
silly
number
mistakes.
4 lost us a few games with turnovers in the red zone.
so. The Raiders were 6-11 last year. If they go 7-10 this year, is that success? Depends
Not
on what
in
it
my
looks
eyes.
like, right?
No, you got to go 500
Not in my eyes. You got to be at least 500. You have
Okay.
to have a winning record.
to get another year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That coach.
And that's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
And because that would be an improvement based off of last year. I think you come in last year, you still got some of the carryover from the previous regime, right? There might be some ill feelings in there because their guy didn't get the job, right? And so the McDaniels has to get some of that shit out of there. So, all right, if they go 500 this year, I can see him keeping his job there. But if they get worse this year,
The fans will hang him.
Well, hey, to be honest, our schedule kind of looks a little bit tougher than it did last year, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, but you know what, man? Like,
You
I,
never
I,
know.
I agree with you, but I also like I hate that shit because like sometimes these schedules look tough in May.
Yeah.
And then you get to like October, November, and you guys are playing the Giants and the Giants suck. You guys are
Yeah.
playing the Jets and
Detroit.
the Jets are underachieving. You know what I mean? Like, or you get to, oh shit, Detroit's way good this year.
Minnesota.
Or oh shit, Miami's really good this year. Like, I think
Miami.
it's easy to say. I just
Gotta
say that
put that
because
in there.
Yeah.
I just say that because of the November matchup.
Yeah.
Because that game means something if both teams are
Oh,
in
this is a
contention in
Raiders thing,
November.
man. What he keeps talking about Miami.
Well,
know.
bitches, I gotta get it in.
And speaking of the Lions, man, Lions and Chiefs is the season opener. How you feel about that?
Yeah, that's
Like,
that was a bad decision there.
like what?
You talk about giving it's in Kansas City. It's gonna be all juiced up because of the ring ceremonies and banner hangings. You talk
They give them a
about
tune-up game, is what you're saying?
fucking giving them a good game, an easy game, man. Like, and that's no slouch on the Lions because I think the Lions are gonna win the NFC North
think?
this year.
Yeah, they're a
I don't
better
think
team.
I don't think they're gonna.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
think it's gonna carry over.
No,
Hey, their defense is coming around, bro.
they've got some.
got
They got some
running
dudes up
backs.
front.
But people know them now. They know they're a quality team.
Yes.
They're gonna show up for this team now. And I think
you're
a
right.
lot of times you see like a team do really good like that who has notoriously not been good. And then people just, we're playing the Lions this week. And this time it's like, hey, we're playing the Lions this week. And
So
we've
you-
seen what they did last year.
So you got
You got more film on them.
You got
know.
the Minnesota Vikings who won something like 11 one-point games last year.
But they made some moves, man.
So they but listen though, they won those 11 single possession games, whereas like a team like the Broncos lost 9 of those single possession games. That thing goes back and forth every year, right? So you also got the Bears. Do you believe in Justin Fields? I know Dom. I know you do,
Yeah,
but it's got to come together.
I'm telling
Like
you, man.
they're
Right?
they're primed for it.
Like, and see, your other question is are there any available free agents? And I'll tell you, one guy that I think we have to go get is Marcus Peters. Right now, looking at the schedule, we play a lot of teams that have a lot of good wide receivers out there, and if we don't do something with our secondary, we're gonna be in trouble,
God
bro.
dang
Like,
that secondary,
we
man.
we can't continue to just expect Max Crosby to get back there and be
Everything.
this out of the world sack leader. Because I mean, let's keep it real. He puts a ton of pressure, but is he really putting up the sack numbers to be the guy in the league? Not quite yet, but he's definitely inflicting damage. But that means nothing if the defensive secondary is giving up every single pass opportunity that there is.
At least with Carr, you can outscore a team, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Jimmy has that. I know he can control a game. I know he can limit turnovers, but when other teams just score on us so freely,
Yeah.
like, is he going to be able to come back? And Carr had a comeback kid in him.
Yeah, but that was my frustration too with Carr, right? When
Yeah.
we'd be up on a team, he'd be still trying to like put them to bed, bro. Throwing these
Diving on the 1 yard line, losing the ball out of
or
bounds.
throwing these deep balls down the field, and all we need is a couple yards to get the first down. And it's just like, bro, manage the game, control the clock, move the chains. We don't need a score on every play.
Emotional reactions.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm kind of excited to see. Like if we get leads, how well we maintain them and close out games, because that's our biggest Achilles heel. We don't close games out.
So it's there was this meme out, and I don't mean to pivot off your topic. There was this meme out though, and it was talking about you're talking about matchups and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about Darius Slay, and they're talking about the receivers that he faces this year, and so he's got Justin Jefferson once, Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin. Then he plays Cooper Kupp, Garrett Wilson, fucking Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle.
Jeez.
And that's just through the first half of the season, man. CeeDee Lamb twice.
This NFL season is going to be like
Stephon
this NBA
Diggs.
season
Hey,
was.
but I bet you he does well against
Guaranteed.
most of those guys. Those guys will probably, I think most of those guys will probably have a down game on that week they play him, more likely than Darius Slay getting worked.
Brandon Ayuk and Debo Samuel. DK Metcalf.
The problem is
gonna be
who's going to
tired.
cover the other person, right?
Facts. Facts. He gets a break with the Giants twice, and then he covers DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, that's a rough schedule. I don't know if Darius Slay has an island yet. You know, a lot of people arguing Sauce Gardner has an island now. You know, and he's another tough one. But yeah, man, when we start talking about
gonna work him, by the way.
you think so?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Think so?
Best route runner.
I mean,
in the league.
he did cook the boy for the Broncos over here.
And you know why he's gonna work him? Because Devontae's also gonna prove he doesn't need a quarterback to be who he is.
Every wide receiver needs a quarterback to be who they are, bro.
Not him.
I don't think you could do it without a good quarterback.
The only quarterback that I seen that ain't need a quarterback, or
He's
the only
never
wide
not
receiver
had
that
a
I
good
seen that need a quarterback was Jerry Rice. And he happened to have Montana and Young, but then he went to the Raiders, and him and Rich Gannon had a nice little rapport. And Rich Gannon wasn't necessarily like someone who struck fear in your heart.
No.
Devontae puts up consistent numbers.
Ball's got to get there, though, man.
Devontae,
It does, but I mean, we're in the NFL.
I mean, you could throw it up there. He could catch anything,
Every
but it has to
quarterback
get
in
there.
the NFL has the capability of getting the ball to a receiver. Like, regardless of what we want to say about him, even some of the quarterbacks like Drew Lock, who was horrible for the Broncos, is still in the NFL and he's still a quarterback. So
it's true.
Scenario: Russell from the Broncos with Devontae Adams. You think that would be a good team tandem?
Yeah,
I do.
Really?
yeah, Russell can throw the ball down the field.
And not only that, I think Russell Wilson is best when he has a receiver who improvises. And Devontae Adams never stays still, right? If his route's over, he's creating a new route.
Very true.
He's always improvising. So I think that would actually be a scary tandem.
Yeah.
Might see it. Because after he gets frustrated with Jimmy G, he's gonna be out of that door. Hey man,
Save us a lot of cap space.
I wish we could sit here and talk
It's
Raiders
not
a little bit longer with you guys. It's fun to kind of poke at y'all a little bit, but you know it's getting to be that time, and we got to get up out of here eventually. Otherwise, your phone's gonna start ringing.
I got to catch a flight in the morning, so 5 a.m.
Let's
flight.
keep this motherfucker up. Nah, we got a mailbag question. We always ask people to send us a mailbag question at dnasportsdenver.com/askdna. It's dnasportsdenver.com/askdna. Take your part in the show. You know, mailbag question comes this, and I can only guess who asked this question, but I'll go ahead and ask it. Who is the greatest Raider of all time, in your opinion? We'll start with our guest. So,
Oh man, come back to me. I gotta say, I'm
back to you.
I like Flores. You know, he's one of my favorite old school guys. I think, just from a cultural aspect of
Coach
it.
Tom Flores?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was cool to have representation and stuff in the NFL.
That's one thing I'll give credit to the Raiders for. They've always been forward thinkers in terms of who they hired at
Diversity.
coach. You know, they've always hired the first Latino head coach, and they hired the first African American head coach. You know, and I give them props for that.
Yeah. For me, I gotta go with my boy, bro, Mr. Consistency. Being a young Raider fan who watched him pretty much throughout my whole childhood, even in our worst of seasons, this was the one shining spot throughout all that. Tim Brown.
Yeah,
Tim Brown
Timmy
was
B.
that dude, bro. Like, he's just Mr. Consistent.
Tim Brown was a great one. I would even gave it up to you if you had said Marcus Allen.
Yeah.
How did that feel watching him run in a Chiefs uniform?
Yeah, that's
though?
the only reason, man. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, see me, like, obviously, episode 34.
Yeah, you know where I'm going.
Right, episode 34.
An obvious
If it-
choice.
If it wasn't an injury, the obvious choice, hands down, is Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Greatest
Wow.
running back.
One of the
Would
most
have been,
exciting guys to
would have
watch
been
play.
the greatest running
Yeah.
back ever.
I'm gonna say this. Episode 34. Shout out to Sweetness, right? But my favorite Raider of all time, and I used to have the jersey. You remember the jersey I had? Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson is the greatest Raider of all time.
Greatest athlete of all time.
But dude, yes. And he was a great baseball player. He was a great football player. All-star baseball player.
Track.
Pro Bowl football player. I remember as a kid, Bo Knows. Those commercials were legendary.
Legendary.
He's definitely, in my opinion, from the eye test, the best Raider I've ever seen. Obviously, I don't go back that far. I go back to '83, you know. But the things that he did to people on a football field. Everyone knows the Brian Bosworth collision in the end zone where he just owned him.
Yep.
You know, everyone knows the long touchdown runs. The dude was just one hell of an athlete. Can swing the bat, play the outfield, tote the rock.
Run up the outfield wall.
Yeah, remember that? Like,
Breaking bats.
Definitely probably the best player.
spectacular, man. Heisman Trophy winner. You know, that's who it is in my opinion.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, fellas, cuz I appreciate you, man. I know you got to get this flight and you got to get the hell out of here, but I really do appreciate you coming on, man. It was something I wanted to do when I knew you were coming into town, just because I know with what you do with work, man, is real, and I know you be doing some real shit for people. So
Yeah, man.
appreciate you coming
Thanks
on.
for having me. Thanks, Don, for hospitality, bro. Appreciate it.
My partner over here, make sure you catch us May 28th. Cero Miedo.
It's going down.
Icon Sales. Get your tickets now. We have a handful of tickets, so you can hit us up. We can get you taken care of with tickets. Otherwise, you're going to have to get them at the facility. And, man, once they're gone, they're gone. Mario says this thing sells out every single year. So there's 400 seats. We're going to be live streaming it. So if you don't get one of them seats, make sure you tune into our YouTube channel. Hit up DNASportsDenver.com. Sign up a booking session for whatever it is. Me or Don will get you guys trained up. Make sure you go and check out the podcast, subscribe. As always, shout out to Icon Sales and Boxing, Anytime Flood Restoration, Cutthroat Barbers and Anglers, Rebel Promotions, Black Sevens, Janice's Catering, Lash All Beauty, DNA Sports Training.
Yeah, and I just want to give a special shout out to the class of 2023. My nephew, Jeremiah Martinez. I'm proud of you, kid. Way to get it done. Frankie Vigil, Fernando Aona, Michael Trizio, Jacob Moguez, Vince Colbert, Cortavius, Hefte, Javier Elliott, Isaac Vasquez, Danny Lucero, and Hamadi. Great job, guys. I knew when you guys were recruited to play futures that you would do great things over at North. And I am glad to see you guys walk today, and I'm so proud of you. Good job.
Yo, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you, the listeners, man. We appreciate you guys all the time tuning in. On that note, we're going to get up out of here. Peace.